Trips EDM Radio Network. Yes, you are listening to Zen Trips on the Zen Trips EDM Network. This is Dude. I am your host, and I have some special guests in the studio with me tonight. Dahl and Amber Cox of Slumber.
Extra special guests.
Yeah. Now you've been producing more and more music, and you seem to be building towards something. You're finally getting some serious press attention.
Well, we've been producing for like 3 years together, and individually as well. But finally, like we're kind of ready to actually put it out there. So we have over, I want to say 200 tracks probably put together.
Feels like that.
Wow.
It feels yeah, it's a good amount of music that we have that
it's been building up. We're putting out on our own. Everything that we do now, we're contributing. It's going to be Slumber. If I do it, she does it. We do it together. So we're pumping out, a couple tracks a week right now. It's ridiculous. It's amazing too.
It's the beginning.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good though. I mean, you're building a momentum, and it's really tough for female artists to get a leg up in the industry because it is almost like the good old boys network.
And we don't want to be considered a female. I hate it when we're like to be considered as a female or these girls or we're just like. We live in different cities, so when we produce, we're producing kind of the same sounds together, and I think that we're always on the same vibe, but very, very knowledgeable as far as what we're doing, and everything comes from our hearts, and I think that's important versus...
Well, knowing both of you, I can, I see that. But, you're still going to have to deal with that labeling until you get to that comfortable level.
What's important, though, I think what comes down to is we don't have anybody else writing our music. We are writing our music. We're 100%. Producing it, editing it, Once in a while, we'll experiment with somebody, mastering it, engineering it, whatever. But for the most part, our thing is, these I'm not going to say names, but there's these, big female acts, and none of them are writing their own music. If anything, they have a little part to do with it. Our thing is, no matter what, it will be all original.
So you're not really getting any pressure from anybody to try to get you to do this or do that.
No,
you're definitely sticking to your guns.
Because I think
some labels want us to change the sound. They want us to do this and that. But
if they want us to do that, then we don't really want to be a part of it.
It may take us a little longer to be successful or to get to the level of really sharing what's in our souls and really sharing that to the world. It may take us a little bit longer, but I'm not gonna sell my soul, or we're not gonna turn it.
Hold on, I really hate to interrupt this. Yeah. So anyway,
I
didn't mean to cut you off like that. The reason I brought that up is I had Heavy Grinder in here.
It's funny, I was going to bring her up.
We did an interview with her, and she was telling me how at the beginning of her career, she was, in order to get what she wanted, she was really kind of made to do a certain thing, and people producing the songs and doing the stuff for her, and now she's kind of rebelled and doing her own fucking thing to, not have to deal with the stuff that goes on in the industry.
And I think it's good that we're doing that on our own without having to take that road.
I think also our scene, what we're involved with, the melodic techno, tech house, techno thing, is that, we're around friends and people who are on our level, and everything in our scene, for the most part, is legit. Everyone makes their own music, everyone does their own thing, and you become, especially being involved with the scene like I am, I have friends, all over the world. And when it becomes, a personal thing as a human, not just digitally, they take you seriously. They know that you're serious, and they are going to take you as an artist. And I think that comes Heavy Grinder, you're saying, she's into more mainstream stuff. We're underground.
Yeah. Well, she's gone back to producing, the metal and stuff. But my point with that is it's got to be hard, and I'm really happy to see that you're getting to do what you want to do. Yeah. Because so very few people really get to do that to try to get going, and the fact that you're getting some critical acclaim and getting good reviews that's stellar.
Yes. I think the universe is there's a plan. I think we're on the right path, and we're never gonna sell
I've been doing this for 12 years now. And I'll never give up. Even if nothing happens, I'll still be content with myself because I'm doing what I love. Even if I don't get world renowned or whatever, I'm doing what I love and I'm passionate about, and that's what makes me happy in life. And if somebody comes around and tells us what to do, we've had a label tell us, we don't want it this way, can you change it around? We're like, we give them the benefit of the doubt, but in the end, we're like, okay, we'll do this for them now, but after that, we don't want to work with them because we're not being who we are completely.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because I've talked to other female artists and they've had a lot this, along that line.
But I mean, if you think about it, I mean, in the past 5 years, I mean, women are being treated, musicians are being treated with much more respect. I mean, it's still a growing path. It always has been for the past.
Do you think that might be the next wave?
I believe music? As a woman, as an artist, I think of Mother Nature, I'm pagan, and I think that we are the nurturers of life, and when we play music, it's as long as you're on the spiritual path, you're playing it as a nurturer, like you're being one with everything. And that's how I like to look at it as, and I think that men are appreciating that. They're seeing the beauty, not only physically, but mentally as well through that.
I've couldn't have said it better, and that's awesome. So tell us about Slumber. I mean, what I know you've been working together, but when did you say, like, okay, this is what we're going to call it, this is what we're going to do, or just kind of evolve?
Well,
just kind of happen.
Yeah, Slumber. Okay, we can go deep. That. We can go deep. So, it was Christmas one year. It was like 2008. 2008. Yeah, and she was living below me in the apartment below me, and I was like, what am I going to give Amber this year? It's like, I got Ableton. I got a ripped copy of Ableton, so I gave her that. And just a couple weeks later, she showed up at my gig. It was at the Village or something here in Tampa. And she just gives me the CD, and she's like, play this. And our friend Speedy was like, and he's knowledgeable. He has introduced me to so much music.
Speedy's the man.
And when he was like, play this, I was like, oh, I'm going to play this, and I played it. And I was like, this is great. But like in my mind, I'm like, oh, good track. Where'd you find it? And she's like, it's mine. I was like, what? Wow. So after that, it was just, lessons. And I mean, she lived below me. So it was just, she bought her own CDJs and was, it wasn't even me wanting to teach her. It was just her like teach me, like, let's do this, and the whole Slumber name is, we're really into, dreams and, dream interpretations or dream walking. And Slumber is Slim and Amber. So it kind of just fell into place, like, kind of by fate. And, it kind of just happened.
Serendipitous.
Serendipitous, exactly.
Now, what have you released under that title?
We had our first release last month with Bad Animal, Don't Ask Why. And we had one remix from Phonogenic.
Yes.
We had a remix, really good remix from him. So we have the next remix, or the next EP that's coming out is with, it's a various artist compilation with Better on Foot. Andrew Grant's label with, Lomez Philip, our good friends. So that, it's just a one-track release with several other artists. And then we have another one coming out with Zabermitch it's a German label. I think end of October, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we consecutively are going to have a release every month.
And it seems like you as an artist, you have to continuously release music to stay relevant because the time span, the turnover with people. It's not like it was even in the 90s where you put out an album and you can ride that for a year and a half before you have to make any new music. You have to constantly put something out.
And you don't know, like, if it's going to be a hit because especially since we're always putting out music, like, I don't even know how to genre my own music. I don't know if it's going to be a hit or if it's not. So it's like, and you don't know what the feedback or what to expect. So it's just like, if you keep consecutively putting out things, you'll, obviously by numbers, quantity, but also by like not knowing if it's going to be something that's going to be a hit or not.
Now, you got a really good review recently. What you want to tell us about that?
Ibiza Voice. Yeah.
Because that seems to be like, I saw it pop up in so many feeds on Facebook and Twitter that I was like, wow.
We didn't really know what to expect, and then we saw that,
Well, Alan's definitely promoted it, right? Yeah. Alan's really taking, us under his wing.
Alan Bialu runs Bad Animal out of Berlin, and I met him in San Francisco when I was living there, and he's just, the label has only released like 5 or 6 times, and it's just quality and everybody trusts him, so when he's been sending stuff out, people are listening, and I didn't really expect I didn't know what to expect. That's the thing, you just don't know, and we haven't got less than 4 out of 5 stars from all the reviews and stuff, so it's been pretty amazing.
That's excellent.
You know, dude, you were saying that it used to be that you could ride off of like an album for, you know, a year or two. And I think that, what you guys are doing is smart. The fact that you have like a library of tracks that you've kind of held on to and you've held back. I think, you know, and, you know, I can understand, like, you know, you get excited, you make a track and
you
it's like, you can't wait to put it out
you
there.
want to share it.
But there's something to be said. And, you know, I think, like, you know, probably a painter would say the same thing. You know, like you have you know, like, or maybe that homeboy Frank Strunk out there, sculpting stuff. You have like works that you're working on that are kind of works in progress.
Right.
And when they're works in progress, it's like they marinate over time and like you get like a perspective on
forgotten
them.
too. You
And
know,
then you
just
go
like
back
works of
to
art.
it, and you're like, oh my God.
And you're like, I did that? Yeah, wow, that's really cool.
So you can get excited all over again about something.
And what's great about Slumber is we have such a variety of, you know, from trip hop to techno, to deep house, to chill wave. Like we produce, like whenever we sit down to produce, it's like whatever comes out. So we don't really sit to make one genre. So we have such, like, we're wanting to get back, we really want to start doing, in the future is more of the you know, the 80s kind of synth pop, that dark stuff, you know, the really dark, good stuff. So that's what I love about us is it's just all over the place. We don't have just one thing.
At first, we're like, is this too much? Because what we're used to is like from artists, this is like a genre, and it just keeps it that genre, and that's what they're good at. And we're like, are we not approaching this way?
I don't want to do it.
We
like
don't
that.
know, but we're doing what feels right. You know, we like everything. We are open to all genres. You know, everything. And so
you just get dialed in and let it go through you. Kind of thing. Yeah. No, but that's I admire your ability to, you know, kind of not give in to like that immediate gratification of, you know, this track's done, let's put it out there and see what happens. And, you know, give yourself that time to kind of like, you know, really kind of like
giving yourself that leisure time to actually be an artist.
Yeah.
Instead of this is work. This is a job.
Yeah.
You're enjoying it. Now you brought music for us tonight.
Yes.
Oh, speaking.
So
of,
what track is it we're getting ready to drop?
The band Animal release. Don't Ask Why.
Nice.
Well, here it is. Bad Animal on Zen Trips. Check it out. We'll be right back. I hope you enjoy the track. Turn it up all the way. All right, and we are back on Zen Trips, EDM Radio Network. And, of course, we have Öona and Amber in the studio tonight with Slumber. See, that was nice. You like how we just did that? Just jump right in there?
It's like, dude, you didn't know Dude had a time machine, did you?
Oh, is that what happened? I'm trying to recollect.
Exactly.
You didn't get any whiplash when you hit the brakes, did you?
I did.
So you're staying pretty busy. Do you? Are you playing around the States, or are you just doing like select appearances right now, or what's going on?
Studio. She lives in Denver. I just moved back from Denver. I travel a lot with work. So I'm pretty busy, making money to live, which, I'm so happy for Slim. I don't call her Öona, but everyone does. I'm so used to calling her Slim, but, I'm blessed. She's very blessed because she gets to, go and venture out, and, I can't, but it keeps me grounded in the studio.
Well, that's what we're building for, is so that we can play together.
Well, it seems like you've achieved a level of balance with that.
Yeah. So I'm boring. I don't go out.
What do you both were together? Was that the Beatport Studios that you guys were at that one time? Did we talk about that the last time you guys were in here?
No, I don't think we did.
We were there in January.
Yeah, so. I saw pictures from that. Their studio setup looked really...
It's really nice.
Very interesting because that's in the office of where everybody works at Beatport. So the first time I played there was a couple years ago, and I walk in, and I'm just like, I've never played for people sitting down before.
Working.
But they were all...
I was like, this is really weird. But then,
but they were all up.
Well, then, you start playing, and they're bringing you a bottle of tequila, loosening you up.
Wow.
Like, all right,
they can drink on Fridays. Everyone comes in, and they all drink and work.
That's when they get the most work done,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, that must be nice. We've been banned from drinking at the studios here.
I've noticed.
The Gestapo has taken over. Whatever.
Denver's awesome.
I miss Denver. I love it out there.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Colorado, Boulder.
We'll all miss Denver after all this rain, but that's another story.
I live on a hill, so I'm safe. Yeah. Everyone else is kind of flooded out right now.
Well, that's as far into the weather as we go. Luna's not here, so...
I know that you are doing some events in the Bay while you're here, but I wanted to focus on one in particular. You're going to be spinning at Earth Dance.
Yes.
And the reason I'm focusing on that is because that is an international event to kind of harmonize everybody and bring some peace.
Tune your pineal.
Yeah, World Prayer for Peace. It's pretty beautiful.
Now, you've been participating in that pretty regularly, haven't you?
Since the Lakeland Tampa beginning.
Right.
The first one, yeah. So they've had me consecutively every year. Even before they were doing Earth Dance, they've had me, so...
Well, when you get out there, make sure you give Susie a big hug for us.
I love that girl.
She is too funny. We had her in here one time, and she was answering the phones, doing impersonation of her Chinese mother with Tourette's or whatever it was. Oh, my God. I got to dig that one out, dude. That was funny.
She played before me last year at Earth Dance, and then I came on afterwards, and she was coming down from the stage, and she's like, I just want to let you know I have the biggest crush on you. I was like... I have the biggest crush on you. Yeah, no, it was so perfect. I have a fetish with Asians for sure.
So, what are you? I just completely lost what I was going to be asking you. I should have just wrote this shit down.
Read from a script.
Yeah, I'm not very good at that. I've tried. What else is going on? What's new? Something that maybe I haven't heard about on the interwebs.
Well, I got a quick question that might bail you out. What would you say is one of the coolest places that you guys have played at, and since the last time we saw you?
Well, I mean,
and that doesn't just mean big venues, that cool party, whatever.
Well, we haven't. Unfortunately, we haven't been playing together because we're so fresh, we're so new, so nobody's really booking us together.
Right?
Yeah,
right.
So
okay.
That really hasn't happened.
So then I'll
yet.
just aim that at you then. So where would be the coolest place that you've played at?
Where do you think?
Burning Man.
So that was Robot.
I did not play Robot Heart. That is definitely one of my aspirations. Hopefully one day.
Well, I'll have to re-release the last time you two were on the show together spinning.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you still? I have never.
I have all of those.
Oh, yes.
You never gave it to us. So
I will get you copies. And I posted your last solo appearance. I posted that.
I did see that. Yes.
We have to get you to actually drop a set the next time you're out here.
Yes. Well, we do have a surprise set. We're not live on air, right?
No,
we're not live. It's a podcast.
So,
and as a matter of fact, by the time
I just want to make sure.
By the time this comes out, Earth Dance.
Well,
will
we're
probably
playing
be
at
over.
Ceviche together on this Sunday in Tampa. At Ceviche Tampa.
Oh, cool.
So if you do want to hear us play, and we're going to record it, so maybe we can.
Excellent.
Send that out as
We'll
a
straighten this all
podcast.
out in the edit. Mike will edit it, except the parts that I tell him to edit, and he'll just do what he wants. But it always works out, so I don't sweat it. He's like, yeah, dude, I got it. And I listen, I'm like, fucker, you did not do that.
But yeah, so let me answer your question, Michael.
Yeah.
So I played 4 times at Burning Man, and it is just the most spiritual place for me to play. And so I just let loose, and I had like a marathon set, which it was 7-8 hours. I played at Base Couch, which was good. But there was this one new venue called the Casbah, and it's this wooden pyramid, and the DJ booth is in the center of the pyramid.
Oh, pyramid power.
Yeah, so the whole thing about Burning Man this year was, like, the alien spaceship has landed, the man of the burn was on a spaceship, he was standing on top of a UFO.
Oh, wow.
And so everybody was just getting in touch with the universe.
Tuning into him.
Channeling. So pretty much, my set, was kind of a whirlwind because I was supposed to play the night before. And I ended up playing the next night. And I remember playing, it was at nighttime. And I remember looking up, and they had this laser, like, those really powerful lasers that can, like, look like they're going right into
space,
the sky.
yeah.
Yeah, into space. And so I look up, and the laser, because you can look through the top of the pyramid, and I see the laser, and I'm looking at the laser, and it's like, feels like it's projecting out of my head.
Oh, nice.
And I see it, and it's touching the tip of the North Star.
Wow.
So I really, honestly, like, I just woke up, like, I wasn't on any narcotics yet. But, like, there was something in my mind, I was like, why do I feel so weird, and, like, I felt like I was channeling the stars.
Nice.
And,
nice.
like, that was just, like, I
probably were.
Yeah, and I was, and that was, like, the whole thing, and so after that, the next day I went, because the camp was by mine, and I talked to the promoter, and he just came to me, he's like, what happened? He's like, and he just starts going real deep with me about how, like, that aliens are here with us at Burning Man, and that we're tapping, I say we're tapping into the dream tree, it's like this, like, and the whole week long was just all about that kind of channeling, extraterrestrial, like, just getting out there, and becoming, like into the other dimensions and stuff.
Sort of like a receiver.
Yeah.
Tuning yourself in to become a
yes.
receiver.
It was
it's sort of like the state, sounds like sort of like the state you guys try to get into before you, like, create music in the studio.
Yeah.
It's like you want to dial into that.
Not even before, during.
Yeah.
I mean, you have outer body experiences.
She just had one.
I had one the other night, and a friend of mine was like, "You're on drugs. Like, what were you taking?" Like, no, because you go into a hypnosis,
right?
So it's like that beautiful feeling. It's better than sex. Like, it was like, this is so weird.
Well, and that's and I think that's with loops too, and that's why we really
hypnotic. You go into a trance, and you're just feeling it really hard at that moment.
It's like breathing.
I don't know. Are you familiar with NLP, neuro linguistic programming?
Actually, I'm not.
It's sort of like behavior modification in a way, or
touches and voice intonation,
positive reinforcement. So, like, you can take.
Anthony Robbins was the first person to really kind of bring it to the mainstream. Was used to reprogram and
you could take patterns. Like an experience or an event or like kind of like a moment in time and zip it up like in its own little zip file.
Okay.
And then create a trigger. And
so
whenever you want, you can just expand that zip file.
See, I got that from mushrooms and DMT.
Is it exactly.
Once you open that little door, you can go back through that door anytime.
Is it kind of similar to lucid dreaming then?
Very much,
and
also
or go to where you want to.
Yeah, and also similar to, like, I don't know if you've ever heard, you're probably familiar with the concept. When you meditate, you have like your meditative space that you go to in your mind, and you can decorate that any way you want. So kind of like the same thing.
Interesting.
I guess.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah. The first time it was kind of brought to my attention, we were heavily in the middle of a party, me and a friend of mine, and he was like, we can create a trigger somewhere on a button on the back of our head where if you just push it, it'll bring you right back to here. And I was just like, bullshit.
I think I can.
It takes time and it takes effort and it takes like real like programming with intention, but it is possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but when you're in that flow that you're talking about, then it just sort of happens without you even realizing that the shift is taking place.
That's
and then
true.
once you're in that flow, that's where some of the most creative things come out of.
Oh my God, it was intense.
Magic happens. Well, you know, it's really funny how and one of the podcasts that I listen to regularly, Duncan Trussell, he talks about doing truly random acts of kindness.
Yeah,
like,
you were saying this last time we were on the air.
That's funny. That's weird. I haven't thought about it again since then. But like going and buying like a bouquet of flowers and then just giving them away to the first person you see.
That's what,
you know, and it's like you just made that person's day, and you weren't trying to, like, you don't.
Well, that has a ripple effect because it's going to come back to you regardless. Exactly, instant karma.
Yeah,
and that is a nice segue into the next track.
That's why he gets the big bucks.
We're going to give everybody a gift. And what is this track that we're going to drop?
So
right
this
now?
is a solo piece for me, Una. I have an album coming out on Stripped Recordings, based out of Britain. January 2014, and it's more like a dream pop experimental flair to it, and with vocals. So this is Somewhere We Can Go.
Awesome. Check it out right here. We'll be right back with you shortly. Do not touch that dial. All right, and we are back live on Zen Trips with Öona and Amber from Slumber. And I'm so glad to have you in the studio.
Yeah.
And it's always a treat when the two of you come by, individually, collectively, all of the above. You hear the music in the background. There's actually bumping it in the other studio.
Yeah, they are.
I think does he have like the party? He has the party monitor in there. I guess.
He has a monitor in there. Yes, that's true.
Okay. So
you'd be surprised. These mics are pretty good about cutting.
They
out
are
the background and stuff.
really
Yeah.
okay. Well, we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're going to be in town for a little bit. I know you've got a lot of stuff going on. You have a very busy schedule.
Yes.
And even if you don't, we're going to make it sound like you do.
I do.
No, I know you do. And it's interesting. We were talking earlier how you've achieved this kind of balance, and it's interesting that Amber is the one that's like the grounding force in all of this.
Yeah, I am.
Having met you years ago, would have thought it was the other way around.
She's actually my biggest influence, so.
So you guys really,
someone has to do it.
you really feed off of each other creatively?
You know, it's magic that, like, because we'll be, like, we're in 2 different cities, and, you know, we talk every day, but we don't really, you know what each other's working on, but we're always on the same wavelength.
Yes.
It is really magical.
She'll make a track, and I'll be like, listen to this. It sounds just like what you just did. So we're just in tuned.
I love
So there really is no separation. Distance doesn't really matter, especially in the
and
digital
it doesn't
age.
feel like we're ever apart.
It's telepathy. Like, I mean, I'll say something, and like, I mean, it's really, we have that really special connection that I don't have with anyone else.
Yeah.
So do you think your style and your sound has evolved over the years? Or
Absolutely. It's become
but
more intelligent. You know, we're learning the more of the technical, you know, that's important. So I think our sound has definitely evolved.
I think
We've gotten a lot better.
our sound, like what we've been listening to for years, has always been this. Like, it hasn't really changed too much. Our passion is, you know, techno and house. But I think now, as production goes, we can actually produce what we love, you know, and make it sound.
Well, it's
like
the two
what
of
we
you
would
that
play.
actually introduced me to minimal, so.
Nice.
Ah.
Yes, and that's our forte. That's our forte. That's our forte.
Yeah. Trips EDM Radio Network.